you just abandon any precaution. You know, folks, something could happen here, and if it does, so what?
Hey friends, welcome to Nathan for Us, a Nathan Fielder fan podcast. My name is Kelly.
And hi, I'm Megan.
And today we have a very special guest joining us to discuss the season finale of the Rehearsal Season 2, co-host of the No Dunks NBA podcast and the No Buffs Survivor podcast. We have Phil, aka J.E. Skeets, here.
Wow, legal government name. Let's go. Hello. Thanks for having me. I feel like this is weird that I'm on the finale. I really screwed this up. I was supposed to come on last episode and I couldn't.
No, this is perfect.
Okay.
We never have Canadians on, so I feel like this might be the first Canadian guest that we've had on the show, other than like my mom one time and my husband.
Okay, great. Yes. Well, Team Canada here, talking about another weird Canadian and this crazy show. What a finale, though. I'm excited to talk about it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your history with Nathan Fielder.
Well, I guess being Canadian or in Canada, I live in Atlanta now, but I was in Canada for 30 years of my life. I do remember him on This Hour Has 22 Minutes because I remember his segments from that, which for those that don't know was like, I guess it was a weekly Canadian television program that was sort of like a mock news type of show. And he basically did Nathan For You on that as a segment. Like he was playing like a consumer affairs reporter, and that was sort of the whole idea, is like the monotone voice, making people feel awkward and all that. And that spun into Nathan For You. So I remember him from that, which was like back in like the late 2000s. And then I watched like a majority of Nathan For You. I know I haven't seen every episode. I know that for a fact, but I saw a lot of the hits, let's call it that. And then, became a huge fan of the absurdity of the Rehearsal. And I love cringe comedy. And he's fascinating, and the whole thing's fascinating. And it's a great show to talk about. And then I found out about your podcasts. And so, yeah. And then I know two friends, two separate people that also know somebody that grew up with Nathan. So I know, like, through another friend, through a friend, Nathan Fielder was at a birthday party of someone I knew for his kids. Sorry. And then Nathan Fielder was at a wedding for someone I knew. So there's that weird sort of like, second or third layers.
Did he do magic at either of these events?
No, though I know I asked a lot of questions about him being at the wedding party, which wasn't all that long ago, a couple years ago. And I knew a lot of friends from that. And I was like, come on, tell me, give me something. And he's just like, I didn't get a lot, was the truth. He's just like super down to earth guy, maybe a little quirky. Like he is pretty similar to what you see on camera, I guess is what I've been told. And they weren't giving me like anything good. So it was like pretty normal. I know. I don't have any juice. Yeah. No magic that I know of. Yeah.
Oh my God. What I wouldn't give to be at a wedding with Nathan Fielder.
Oh my gosh. What he wouldn't give to not be at the wedding with us.
Do you think that he like does the cha-cha slide? Are we thinking he's like dancing? Is he?
I was gonna say him
out?
Dancing is
We've seen his dance moves multiple times. I think he'd be an incredible dancer.
You think he would let loose, though? Like,
I've posted multiple videos of him dancing, so I would say yes. Although that is in the privacy of his own home.
Right.
But he is filming it and putting it out into the world, so he must also love his dancing.
Yeah, good point. Good point. But then he's in like a public setting, and everybody knows it's Nathan Fielder, and like, I don't know, like, are you worried about people filming you? Like, it wasn't a type of wedding where phones were away. There was no other celebrities as far as I know. So I will follow up. I will get back to you guys. Did Nathan Fielder dance at said wedding?
Incredible.
It was in Toronto.
Number one question.
Yeah.
It was in Toronto? Oh, we could have crashed.
It was at a brewery in Toronto.
Which one?
Oh my God.
I'm drawing the blank on the name, and I've been there.
That's okay. Not that we want your friends to get divorced by any means. We don't. No. But if they happen to, and the friend who is friends with Nathan Fielder has another wedding, we're petitioning for an invite.
Okay.
We are open and available. We're really good wedding guests, I swear.
Oh wow. Okay, you're like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson and whatever the heck that was called, Wedding Crashers. Yeah. Okay.
Should we remake Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We're doing gender bent everything else. But anyways, Go ahead, Meg.
So we first heard of you years ago. You were talking to Rob Cesternino, whose podcast we absolutely adore online, and you actually tweeted at us that we had mentioned the bar Phil's, which is in Waterloo, and is where Kelly and I went to school. And I thought, wow, someone who loves Phil's and also loves Nathan For You, this must be a really great guy.
And my name is Phil. No, it was not my bar. I am older than you guys. That is incredible. Yeah, I had friends that went to the school, so we would make the pilgrimage there and have like super drunk late nights in that crazy little town. I remember I definitely puked outside that bar for sure.
We all have.
I remember, like, quick story. It was like closing time and it was like really empty, and we were looking for our friend Ken, and we're like, where is he? Where is he? Like, again, everybody's drunk. It's super late night. It's a college town. And suddenly we hear like chuk chung, chuk chung, chuk chung, and we look over, and Ken, I don't know why to this day, had tied a pitcher to his shoe.
Oh my God.
And every step he took was like the plastic was banging off the ground. It was like echoing. And even the bartender at Phil's was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Let him walk out with it.
Oh my gosh.
To this day, we're like, why did you need a pitcher we could have bought for $1.50 at Giant Tiger? And he was like, I don't know, I thought it'd be funny. So that's my other Phil story.
But that was my introduction to you. And then, of course, you have an incredible Survivor podcast. I think we've brought it up probably too many times on the show, but we're big Survivor fans. We will have a few Survivor questions throughout the episode, but mainly we will be talking about the rehearsal.
Sweet. I love it. I love the overlap. Are we we're like 3 of 10 people in the world that love the two shows?
Yeah.
And like, if you're not on board with Survivor yet, it's a good time to jump in. Survivor 50 is coming.
It's a great time to jump in. Just tell people it's season 49 coming up, and it'll just blow their mind. They can't believe it. Or I love asking people, what season of Survivor do you think we're at? I love getting answers. So people that don't watch it, they're like, I don't know, 18, maybe 20s. You're like, no, keep going. And you say 49 coming up, and they're like, what? Yeah.
It does feel like a magic trick. Like you're revealing this enormous number that no one is suspecting. I'm always get people who are completely shocked. I'm like, that's how you know it's good. How could it still possibly be on?
It's a great point. And it does blow people's mind that they shoot 2 seasons in 1 year. I think that part, like, people can't figure out. Like, what? Mm-hmm. How do they do that? I thought it took them an entire year out there on the island. It's like, well, let me tell you, they're not even out there for 39 days anymore.
Yeah, there were 4 seasons of Survivor in the time it took for Nathan to get his pilot's license.
Wow. When you put it that way, that's crazy.
So we open this episode with Nathan in a warehouse discussing a new scene with various Fielder method actors. So we get some of our favorites back. We see Donna again, Emma, and our wonderful Eyes, Lips, Eyes actress. And he is revealing that he is going to be flying a 737 plane. And he wants to ask these actors if they are okay being on the flight, knowing that he will be the pilot, and they can opt out if they are feeling unsafe. So how do you both feel about this? Would you say yes to being on this flight?
Oh, I mean, if I'm a struggling actor, I guess I would. I'm making some bucks. I'm getting on HBO. I'm just getting on a plane for 2 hours. I think I would if I was in those shoes, but as my life right now, no. I'd be like, I'm good. I don't need to get on a plane that's going to circle around and come back. No, I'm okay.
I think my answer changes greatly if like I get offered the first class seat, which they didn't seem to have, but like I'd be like, okay, am I sitting business? Am I getting like the fun snacks? Am I getting free alcohol?
Yeah, actually, I think my biggest gripe with this was that he was assigning everyone drinks when they could have clearly just picked a drink that they like. And there was one person who was assigned to say that they didn't want anything, which is clearly the worst role. I think that Nathan probably doesn't like this actor. It's like, you get nothing on this flight. So what?
Oh, that's funny. You think he didn't trust like the chops of that actor specifically to deliver the line that I want a Diet Pepsi. So they're like, just give him nothing.
Yeah, he says he's good. He doesn't want anything to drink.
Hmm.
So offhand, I would personally have absolutely zero safety concerns. You know, it's HBO. Nathan himself will be on this flight. I think they were playing it up as if there could be a safety concern. But Nathan's not going to go on a plane that he could possibly crash himself. We have a very experienced pilot with him. I would not be concerned at all from a safety perspective. I think it would be a super fun thing to get to say you were a part of. And as long as I'm assigned a half decent drink, or I could maybe barter with him, hey, can I order a champagne? Like, what do we have to do here for me to get a fun drink or a really fun beverage?
Wow. There's no way they were serving alcoholic beverages on that flight.
They didn't license the 737 from the aviation boneyard.
Yeah,
I thought we were celebrating.
No, there was. You know what's funny? Like, okay, this is very random, but this is what this podcast is about, which is what I love about this pod. Okay, the one guy was given the line, correct me if I'm wrong, to order a Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know how much you guys fly. And not that I fly all around the world. It's not like I fly a lot. But a lot of flights I've been on do not have Pepsi products.
Yeah.
And they have Coke products, right? Coca-Cola products. And I was like, am I crazy? So I dug into this a little bit. And I found an article from 2019 from the Points guy, whatever that is. And it says only a handful of airlines dabble in Pepsi products. Ryanair, Emirates, Pakistan International Airlines, and Wizz Air, which I had never heard of. Wizz Air. I think it's like a Hungarian, like low-cost carrier. Those are the only ones that do like Pepsi products. Like basically everybody else does Coca-Cola. So I was like, for a show that's all about like ultra realism, I thought that was just a weird line, a weird choice. I was like, because it like caught me by surprise.
And everything else was non-branded. It was like a cranberry juice.
Yeah.
So do we think Pepsi was paying Nathan under the table?
This is what I'm thinking.
Oh my
Did
god.
anybody-
Why was it Diet Pepsi? That's so weird. Nobody gets a Diet Pepsi on a flight because you can't.
No one.
Basically. Yeah.
Did anyone go out and buy a Diet Pepsi after this is what I want to know.
Jeez. Write in if you did.
Yeah, tell us.
I feel like Pepsi kind of got a little bit of the up and up with what was the Jennifer Lawrence movie where she was dating like the younger guy and they go to the bar and he
No
tries to
strings
order
attached
Pepsi.
or something?
No strings attached, and he asks for Pepsi and they're like, we only have Coke, and he's like, can we leave? Like that is like, did that really help the branding for Pepsi? Maybe now it's like
maybe
on the up and up.
Sorry, the movie is No Hard Feelings.
No hard feelings.
The other part in that article that made me laugh was one flight attendant said that Diet Pepsi would bubble up more than Diet Coke and take longer to pour, so that would keep them in the aisle longer. So I have no idea if that's true or not. Yeah. So it's like it's too bubbly, so it take too long. So that's
unless Coke paid for this article to take down Pepsi.
Unless I'm being paid by Coke. I live in Atlanta. Put it all together, guys. Yeah.
Put on your tinfoil toques.
Yeah. Let me take a sip of my sweet Coca-Cola here.
We're taking down Big Pepsi.
Not going to stand for it.
If Big Pepsi wants to pay us, like, we're very open. Especially in American dollars. Like, times are tough out here in Canada.
Can you even buy Pepsi in Canada anymore? Can you buy Coca-Cola in Canada? What about the tariffs and all that stuff?
I think we're good on pop. I think we're good on pop still.
Oh, pop. Thank you for saying that. Hadn't heard that in a while.
Yes, all the Canadianisms are going to come out today.
Yeah, I love it.
Not on purpose. It's just how I talk. So we see a pretty quick jump cut to 2 years earlier, and Nathan is performing his pre-flight check on a little prop plane. And we see in this scene, he's on the plane with his instructor, and they're talking to the control tower, and he wants to say thank you to the control tower, and the instructor's like, no one does that. I personally think that I would feel more comfortable if we were all thanking the control tower, but that's just me.
You sound like a real Canadian right there, Kelly. Yep, that's exactly what a Canadian would say.
Why aren't we being polite to the control tower?
I guess it's like I'm trying to think of why not. It's like wasted talking to like someone that's got to be hyper focused on all these other things. I don't know. Why can't they be polite? I'm not sure.
But so Nathan talks about how he kind of realized that the only way he was going to be able to solve the aviation safety problem was to become a pilot himself. But unfortunately, he actually is not very good naturally at the skills necessary to become a pilot. So, particularly sticking the landing seems to be an issue for him, which obviously is all coming full circle with this being the finale of the season.
Unbelievable. How, like, can you guys be honest? How much did you pop when it went 2 years earlier? And then,
Oh
of
my
course,
God.
we were like, oh my God, he's going to learn to fly a plane. Because, like, I remember episode 1 of the season 2. I remember talking to Nora, my wife, I was like, he's going to learn to fly, right? He's going to learn to fly. Like, that's going to be a whole part of this. And then it, like, never, like, I wasn't really plugged in online. I know there were rumors, but I wasn't following any of that. So, you never get told that. And then you get this at the end. Like, I was like, yes, he did it. Like, this is crazy. I don't know. I was super pumped.
Yeah, we got spoiled a little bit. We saw that his pilot's license had been floating around for a while. It had been posted on Reddit. So I was assuming that this might happen, but it was still very exciting. And I love his commitment to the bit. If your favorite show isn't putting in years of work, what are you doing? Find this show. Who else is learning to fly a plane for a bit?
Oh, it's so good. Oh
he can't keep getting away with this, as we keep saying. Like, I just don't understand.
If you could get HBO to pay for you to do anything, to pursue a very expensive hobby, what would you like HBO to pay you for? And pull the connections. Because I'm wondering why he didn't become an astronaut.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That would be more expensive. I'm like, okay, this is step 1. Season 3, we're going to the moon, baby.
Okay, I do feel like he made a better choice doing this, because I feel like the astronaut thing got kind of overblown with like the Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez flight. And now like astronauts are seemingly not cool anymore. And people are like not as excited by that.
No. They're cool. It's cool when you put the work in, when you can do the flashback of like, this is my dream. I want, I guess, I don't know how safe space travel is in comparison. Do they have issues with communication? Lots of astronauts start with pilot training. So this is a really great jumping off point. I think when you're putting in the effort and you're showing you have a passion for it and you're respecting the work of astronauts, everyone's on board. When you're paying to just, get high enough that gravity is a little bit less strong, and then you're quickly coming back down to Earth and you're just spending a lot of money on it, it's maybe not as exciting to everyone.
How long was the Katy Perry spaceship?
I think like 10 minutes.
In the air. 10 minutes? Well, like this was in the air for 2 hours plus. Yeah. Like, what's more impressive in a weird way?
Also, like, Katy Perry wasn't flying this rocket.
Yeah, she's just sitting there, like us on an airplane, ordering a Diet Pepsi.
Because there was someone on that exact flight who was really passionate about air travel and was an astronaut and did a lot of training and wasn't a celebrity who just paid to be on board. Right. And she got a lot of kudos and respect for it. So I do think that Nathan would prove to us that he put in the effort of this hypothetical situation that doesn't exist, of him becoming an astronaut, which I think he should do.
Yeah, I mean, it's in play. Anything's in play. Like, I know we might later on, like, what could he be doing if there's another rehearsal, like if there's a season 3? Because I have some theories just on breadcrumbs that he may be left, but we can get to that when we...
Ooh.
I have one as well. Yeah. Do we just do it now?
Well, go. You say yours.
Well, I think him touching on his gambling addiction, like just addiction in general, would be a really great topic, and is frankly a more prevalent problem in the world, just addictions of all sorts. So I kind of thought that would be a good direction to go. And especially when he was bringing up like people on Uber and people looking at their phones, that's another direction. I think we've mentioned on here quite a few times how driving is much more dangerous than air travel, but that's kind of the direction I was going. How about you?
That was exactly where my mind went.
Yeah.
Why was that included? Why was that whole little weird, I had a gambling addiction, I'm 19 minutes from the strip.
Yeah.
Like, it was so out of nowhere. I know that there was a little joke like in the house where he's talking about it and there's a huge decal of like, welcome to Las Vegas. And then of course he goes to Vegas for the magic show and like, I guess, but it's like, that was weird. It was like, is he like given us a little breadcrumb here of where he's going. So that was my thinking as well, which would be a fascinating topic, like you said.
If he decides to stay on Earth, that's the direction I would like to see him go. My preference would be for him to be an astronaut, but that's
Right.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Or underwater. I want him to leave.
Oh my gosh.
I want him to leave land.
Megan wants him playing blackjack on the moon in season 3 or something.
Yeah.
Setting up a casino on the moon.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an Arctic Monkeys album about that, but neither here nor there.
What a reference.
But yes, so we hear Nathan talking about the fact that he has done over 120 hours of flight training, but he still hasn't mastered landing. And most students are able to do this within 10 to 30 hours. So obviously he's struggling quite a bit. And it's so abnormal that he's been passed along to a bunch of different flight instructors to see if they can figure out what has been going on with him. And we see this montage of the other pilots taking the controls.
Oh, I love that part. There are so many funny, actually laugh out loud, like lines and scenes. This was one of them where he just sucks at flying, and it's like you see all the like co-pilots or the people beside him, the instructors, I guess, and it just keeps showing them. And then when he finally like successfully lands, the guy they include the guy going like, "Finally!"
Oh my God. Oh my God. I wanted that to be the episode title so badly.
Finally? Oh yeah,
Finally. This was so real though. Like, I don't know. I also have been bad at hobbies that I've had. So for me, I was like, this is extremely relatable. And it was so wholesome when he finally did it.
Oh my God. I mean, he put so much work in it. I mean, if we believe all of this, and I know there are people like, none of this is real. You fools. This is a television show. I believe he actually became a pilot. I do believe all this. It's pretty amazing. And I have one friend in Toronto that, is like an amateur pilot as well. And I know the work he put in. I know how difficult it is and how much you need to know. And I've been up with him, fly around Toronto. It's amazing. It's unreal.
Oh, man.
It's sort of terrifying when you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. But yeah, like it is crazy that he's just so bad at it. I guess he can't land a plane, though. Like you said, you teased it earlier, Kelly. It was like he figuratively and literally lands the plane in this finale. It's like, it's so good.
Oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah, I messaged quite a few pilots because now all of a sudden, because of this show, I've been messaging pilots and I asked, okay, is it actually crazy to take 120 hours or is he exaggerating? And no, apparently this is enormous amount of time to take. It is far outside normal. And kind of what Kelly was saying, and I think there is a little bit of a difference when you're flying a plane because it can be so dangerous. But I do think we should all embrace being bad at our hobbies a lot more. Like when people say they have a hobby, like you don't have to be good at it. It just has to be something you enjoy. So go out there, be bad at something, but don't endanger people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He's like, you can't be bad at flying a plane.
Yeah.
Because it can be very bad. Like you could kill yourself or the other people in the plane, or I guess whatever you land on. Like that's the scary part of all that.
Unless you're just really passionate about chair flying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right. Chair flying. Not doing the simulation. I'm just gonna straight sit in a chair and fly. But it seemed to work for him. He said it unlocked it for him.
Is it the new air guitar?
Oh.
Wow. So are you saying there's going to be contests where people go and watch people chair fly and like judge them? Wow.
I think this should be more widespread. I think that there should be leagues. I think we should all like passionately go and chair fly in our homes.
I mean, it's like a form of visualization, obviously. Like, you hear a lot of athletes talk about that, like visualize the basket going in or you hitting the home run or whatever the sport is. Like, now he's going through the steps, and I think that's a part of it. Like, it's like, okay, I do this, I touch this knob and all that. Yeah, but why did it? It's like he said really the only problem he was having was the landing. Like everything else seemed okay. And it was just the landing, which I assume is the toughest part or the scariest part, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just like the most high pressure, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say though, so I used to be a competitive swimmer, and one of my coaches was an Olympic athlete, and he was very into visualizations, and he would make us do them all the time. Like I remember when I was at nationals, I had to do one, and I was like, I feel so dumb, but it actually helps so much.
Sure.
However, I wish I had visualized the bragging thing, Because I'm like, maybe I would have done better if I had visualized bragging afterwards.
So can we discuss if what he did was bragging? Because I went back and re-listened to it again. Nathan clearly says that he even visualizes bragging to the other pilots and then says, I'm fine with crosswinds. I feel like I can land those perfectly. I'm like, is Nathan the most humble human on earth? Because that is not bragging.
Yeah, that seems like just a normal thing that pilots would have to sort of, I don't know, deal with sort of on the regular.
It's more of just a comment like, oh yeah, this is an okay situation for me to land in. But what's like a good dunk on another pilot where you're really bragging?
I feel like something about the uniform would be good. I feel like they're very picky about the uniforms.
I bet you there are like, oh, you landed at so-and-so airport? Like, that's a tough spot to land. Like, don't they say in Toronto, like at Bishop on the island, it is apparently like a very difficult island, airport to land at because of like, you're coming into the building. I don't know. I'm like talking to my ass, but it's like because of the buildings, because of the city, because it's on the water, because it's the steepness.
It's
and all this.
It's a really short runway too, I think.
Yeah.
For
So
anyone who's like, what is this? We have an airport in Toronto that's literally like on this tiny island. And so they don't fly jets out of it. You really only go on like these little propeller planes. But it's quite popular. It's really busy. And it's really scary when you're landing because it looks like you're about to land in the lake.
Yeah. So I think that would be like something you would brag about with other pilots, I think. You'd be like, you landed this one.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous place to land in the world is when you're going to go climb Everest to get to base camp. The airport you have to land in is apparently unbelievably short and very dangerous. So it's like not only is climbing Everest one of the most dangerous things in the world, but even getting there is unbelievably dangerous. So I feel like that might be a good brag.
Unless it's all a part of the climbing Mount Everest. So they're like, well, if you can, like they're like, oh, you've done the tough part now. you sat on a plane and they landed it for you. You're good. Now you just got to climb like the most
very spooky. You've proved yourself.
Right. That'd be very smart if that's what they're doing. But yeah, so I guess that's what you would brag about. But this crosswind stuff, yeah, that's sort of a weird brag. He's very humble, I think.
Our humble king. We do get some glimpses into his house, and I do want to note that we do see two of Nathan's cats, which obviously shout out to Nathan's two kitties that we get a little peep of. And also he has a very scratched up couch, which is also extremely relatable as a cat owner.
That checks out.
Yeah, so Nathan explains that after he did a lot of the chair flying, something clicked for him. So obviously this tool kind of worked. And then he was able to fly solo and he was able to land the plane. And he's allowed into the fraternity of pilots.
Which involves giving up a piece of your shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently this is a big tradition. And when you were learning how to fly a plane, normally it was very noisy and the person teaching you had to sit behind you. So to get your attention, they would pull on the back of your shirt and then kind of tell you the instructions. So it's a very big tradition. I messaged again a few pilots to ask about it. Apparently on your last flight, there's a water cannon that they shoot, if I remember correctly. The only other big tradition in aviation is the water cannon salute for a pilot's final flight before retirement. But I have also been told there are no secret handshakes, which is a little sad. And I was hoping that they had a fun little pilot handshake.
Okay, but Nathan is seen walking off with the back of his shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
They cut it. They don't keep it though. I guess they give it to you. Like that's like part of it.
They give it to you and then you can decorate it. So a lot of people draw on it and then bring it back and hang it on the wall.
I see. Okay. I do like the concept of it. Like you said, like they would sit behind them, grab the shirt. So now you've removed that. Therefore, I trust you. You can do it yourself. Even if I went to grab for your shirt, I would just touch your sweaty back and slip right off and the controls are yours. So like, cool. I was learning. I didn't know this was a thing. I don't know if you guys did heading into this episode.
No. Definitely not. And I love a silly tradition, like a fun little nod to something would be my favorite. Hopefully everybody wore shirts they were okay with getting chopped off. But other than that, I think it's super, super fun.
Yeah. Do we think that there's other professions that should have like fraternity type initiations?
humiliate you before you start? Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Really beat you down?
Megan, I think you're forgetting how much fun we had with fraternities back in the day.
Yeah. I'm like, shh, that's a secret. They
You guys
definitely
are
had a
Canadian.
secret.
There's no such thing as fraternities in Canada.
I mean, the University of
sororities,
Waterloo. I mean, Kelly was president of a sorority. Thank you very much.
What? They had them in Canada? It's such a
Yeah.
culture down here in Atlanta. It's so when I first moved here, I asked a million questions when I met people that were in sororities, obviously had moved on and stuff like that, but we would go to the college football games and it's like, wow,
Oh,
this was
yeah.
your sorority. And like, I just had so many questions because it's so foreign to me as a Canadian for the most part. Like we didn't have them at Ryerson, now TMU. Yeah. But that's cool. You're in one.
Shout out Kappa Kappa Gamma, I guess. I don't know. But I was president and we did actually have a secret handshake.
Okay, but like
That's a real thing.
you said that jokingly, like, do you stay in touch with the girls? Do you stay in touch with the sorority? Like, is there a networking thing that is real? Because that's real down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's less real here for sure, but I am a bridesmaid in someone's wedding from the
Okay.
sorority in like a month.
Okay.
So I guess that counts.
Will you do some dance at the wedding or like?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. No, that is a thing. And I have been to weddings where they've done that.
Yeah.
And it is a lot. But in Canada, I feel like we are a little more chill.
Yeah, it's more chill.
I was never in a sorority. I dated a guy in a frat, that feels like initiation and humiliation all on its own. But they would all call me, was it GDI, like a goddamn independent? Like I wasn't associated with anyone, but I was just there all the time.
Yeah, they call them geeds.
I'm just here because I'm friends with all of you, but where I went to school, there wasn't sororities. So, but I just hung out with Kelly. Oh, well, I just hung out with you guys. I mainly just hung out with people from Waterloo.
It's we could do another hour on I'm not kidding. I find it so fascinating, like especially here in America, and I guess Canada's got it too, like you're saying. But it's just like how you get initiated and like going around to them, and like obviously like the animosity between the sorority and it's like wow, most of my knowledge is from Georgia Tech. Which is like,
oh yeah, that's intense though. They're into it,
but not compared to like Georgia, which is like times 100. Like Georgia Tech's like, sort of a geeky smart school, but they still have all this. You know what I mean? Then you go to like Georgia, that's a whole other world. But
yeah, my husband would come to parties. Like obviously this is when we were dating, and not married yet. But he would come to parties with me, and like all of the fraternity guys would be doing like their handshake to him, and he was like, "Why are they tickling my hand in this sensual manner?" I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "He's not. Don't do the grip. He's not one of you."
Wow. Kelly, you're revealing
he
their
was like,
secrets.
They're hand fucking me.
He's in. They saw something in him. That's the thing. They're like, oh yeah.
They're like, we can recruit this man.
Yeah, we're like, this one. Let's get this guy in. This guy's cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe we don't think that we should be doing this at workplaces, which is fair. I guess it's probably like pilots do feel like a very specific job where, it's a small community.
Yeah. And like obviously the amount of time and like work you have to put in just to graduate to that level where you can do it yourself. Like, yeah. Like I do wonder, like, do they do this in like skydiving world?
Oh.
Like you got to put a lot of time in, you got to jump with a lot of people till you graduate to do it yourself. Is there any sort of weird initiation?
I bet there is. That seems like a group for it.
Yeah.
Should we message the skydive people from the Nathan For You episode and see?
There you go.
Skydive Paris.
I'm pretty sure we followed them for years on Instagram.
Our Instagram is a bit of a treasure trove of like random Nathan For You businesses. So sometimes scrolling is an adventure in itself. So Nathan does talk about the fact that he's really, alone when he's flying, and being alone with your thoughts for so long, you end up with some big ideas. And we set up a meeting with our pal, John Goglia. He's got a new look. He's in a plaid shirt. And Nathan pitches to him his idea of doing a real flight in a 737, but having cameras in the cockpit to actually capture what's going on in there.
Great scene. These two talking with like the light going down, the sun going down, I should say, and it just was like lit beautifully, and them having this like wild conversation of like Nathan doubling down on this idea and him like, oh yeah, there's something to that maybe. But he's like, I don't know, this is crazy, man. Like now even this guy's like, this is nuts. Awesome. I thought it was one of my favorite scenes from the entire episode, these two talking out his plan, Nathan's plan.
Yeah. Do we think this is actually the first time Nathan has brought up the fact that he was doing his pilot license to John, or had he mentioned it before?
Oh, that's a good question.
I bet when pitching for him to join him on the show, it was one of his selling points to take him seriously. Now, I love John. I feel like he is such like a come with guy. I love him being down for all the loopholes. I feel like he was really thinking it through, but he was embracing it. He wasn't shutting it down. And to me, this was such a throwback to like the Richard's Tip episode of Nathan For You. I felt it really showcased how many hoops Nathan will jump through to get a result. So it was when they wanted to leave an enormous tip from a celebrity at a restaurant. And so we needed to get a name change. Okay, well, in order to get someone to change their name to a celebrity's name, they need to be in a newspaper. Okay, we need a ghostwriter to start a newspaper. And it just keeps going and keeps going. And this is one of those scenes where I want Nathan to go ridiculously far in a direction and do the most for his result. And I would say that getting his pilot's license is an incredible start. Being able to use these actors and really comb through what I'm sure was an enormous amount of paperwork to find these tidbits and to find these loopholes to make it happen. Probably filming the season was based on finding these loopholes at some point.
Yeah. And like, I think he's even talked about this idea of like revealing that he was getting his pilot license at the end was like obviously an editorial choice. Like maybe they even thought about doing it at the beginning, but then the payoff was better doing it this way. And it's fascinating. I also just love like the idea is crazy, of course, and he's pitching it to John, and John's like, again, trying to think it over, like all the hours and like, could you even do that? And what are these loopholes? But like at its core, just these two guys talking, they could be talking about anything. And there's something so funny about it. Like all the like idioms or whatever, like sayings that John has that, Nathan, how he jumps in, like there's something about a horse,
the apple.
He questions the horse and the apple. And it's like, their like dance of language or like conversation is so gold. Like, and I don't know if it's the age gap as a part of it. It's obviously Nathan leaning into like, he knows this guy's like gold, I think. How he talks and just how sincere he is. Like, it's just, it's one of my favorite scenes.
I feel like I learned a lot about how to become a pilot with this conversation and how like hard it is and how much you really do have to work for it. So, educational moment.
Have you guys done any flights since the rehearsal has started airing? Have you gone anywhere on a plane?
No.
Okay, I have.
Okay.
What did you notice?
I wanted to ask you. I guess I'm asking the listener.
Yeah.
Like, I am looking at pilots differently. And it's really weird because, you get off the flight, like I've flown, like I went to Montreal for a wedding and I was in New York recently for work. So a couple flights here or there. And it's like, you get off the plane and there's the pilot, saying, have a good day, have a good night. And it's like, I'm like looking literally at them differently. Like, what was going on up there? How you doing? How's your mental health? And I can't decide if I think they're cooler or if I think they're less cool. I don't like my brain is like screwed up with how I look at them now. I don't know if that was a whole part of like Nathan's thinking here, but it's like, it's had an effect on me.
There are so many TikToks now of people going on planes or sitting in an airport, zooming in on the first officer and the captain sitting away from each other, just saying, "Dear Lord, please have a conversation." And I thought, after I've seen 5 of these, maybe I'll stop laughing or being amused by it. And every time I'm like, yes, incredible content. Go force them to talk to each other.
I think that first flight you guys are on next, when that happens, it's going to be hard to not have some thinking about that person, about the pilot. And I keep thinking there's only one of them ever standing there. So I guess the other person is in the cockpit, I guess.
Yeah.
They're never both standing there. Now I'm starting to think about that. It's so weird.
Someone must fly the plane.
Yeah. but the plane is, landed. We're just here. We're on the bridge. The bridge is there. It's like, why aren't you both here? Because you don't want to show us whether you're like communicating well. Is that what's
One of
going
them's shy.
They don't want us to know if they kissed. If they're too close together, we're going to be able to tell. We'll be like,
we can
"No
see them holding
chemistry."
hands and like they slap it away. Like, don't, not now, John.
Oh, man.
Should they have to wear one really big jacket until they get onto the plane? Like they're both stuck in the same jacket and they have to walk around together. Like a really big trench coat where they each get one arm and they have like that's like their teamwork jacket.
They
and
have to work
wear
together.
it.
They have to order Panda Express together and
Yes.
eat it together. Wow.
You must walk around together. You are united until you get on this flight and then you take off your jacket and like symbolically you are united. And although you aren't physically wearing the jacket, now you are symbolically wearing the jacket on this flight.
I mean, United Airlines should at least do it.
Exactly.
They should
Yeah.
do that.
Like, you know
wow.
those gloves for couples where it's like you, on your, I guess, outside hand, you get your own, but the mitt where both of your hands are joint, there's one that's like together.
Right. We're
You
just
have to-
taking two people and putting them into one, and they have to like operate as one.
I was like, wait, is that too romantic? Are we just trying to make pilots kiss again?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna
Every
go.
time.
Have you've seen like there's like those weird like they're almost like novelty underwear that like puts two people in one pair of underwear. I thought that's where you were gonna go with it.
Oh, actually, last time Kelly and I were asking, okay, if you were on a flight, would you rather know that your pilot and I guess first officer have kissed before or haven't? Like, which would you prefer?
This is the new ghost question.
No, we're going to ask you the
Damn.
ghost question later. But okay, the only options are captain and first officer. You get to choose. Have they kissed before or have they not? What is your preference?
Wow, I guess my gut says not, because I'm more concerned there's going to be an issue from them having the kiss and like there could be fallout, but that's where my mind goes. Why? I mean, that's like a negative thought, I guess. I'm more concerned that the kiss didn't work. And now there's like, some sort of like, weird anger or whatever between the two, or some sort of like disconnect between the two. So I guess
You're
not.
worried there wasn't a spark.
Yeah, a little bit.
The ultimate fear between the pilots. So Nathan tells us that he's really convinced that the miscommunication issue that he's been exploring is not just, a problem when there's actual flight crashes happening, but also in every single flight. So kind of like a near miss situation. So that's why he kind of wants to explore this with having him be the pilot and a regular co-pilot just on a regular flight where there's not going to be a crash. And we also get a glimpse at this point of all of the hundreds of pages of notes that they have on every single pilot involved in this show.
And we got like a good close-up of Moody's page,
Yes.
Collins' page. Those are like the two, of course, that they focused on. But yeah, there was, there's hundreds of them. Were there not?
Yeah, there were hundreds. Apparently, people were carrying these around at all times. Something that I noticed is that they each had a weakness listed. So I did some messaging to ask, like, did you provide the weakness? Did you say, or did they decide what your weakness was and put it on? And the people who I had spoken with didn't remember providing a weakness. So I'm wondering if HBO was like, oh, you're not good at this, and added it to the list.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Okay, would you guys want to know what they put for your weakness, or would you rather just be in the dark?
Oh, of course I'd want to know.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have a problem.
Oh my God, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
If you have a problem with me, don't fucking tell me.
don't
Keep
then
that shit to yourself.
Yeah, don't print it on a piece of paper and put it up on a wall, and then zoom in on it. Yeah.
Like, I'm humbled by my kid every day. I don't need anyone else to do that. But Nathan kind of talks about the fact that with the miscommunication, he's relating it to when you're in an Uber and, an experience we've all had, your Uber driver is texting or watching a video or just generally doing something unsafe. And we see kind of a big montage of this happening. And he talks about how it's risky to not speak up, but we also don't really do it because no one wants to be awkward. And also, we're all just in the back of that Uber trying to avoid having an awkward conversation. I do feel Andy from Andy versus Uber would never do this. But let's talk. How many bad Uber stories do we have? I know Megan has a few really bad ones because I have heard them personally.
Go on.
Oh gosh. So I don't mean to repeat myself, but I have a few that I'm pretty sure I mentioned in our Uber episode from Nathan For You. So I'll speed run them really quick. One of them, the driver was just like full on exercising while driving. Like he was using one of those hand grips and kept like leaning over and flexing. And I was in the front seat and he kept exercising and just like squeezing his hand multiple times. And that was a little weird. And kind of recently, I was in an Uber where the driver just full on started, can I say porn? He just fully started watching like
Oh my God.
an explicit
He had
video.
it on his dash?
Yeah. And it was clearly an accident where it like suddenly connected to the speakers. I was with a friend and it played really loud. And we just stopped and we all just looked at each other and I didn't know what to say. And I really regret not really giving this guy a hard time, but I was just so shocked. And he immediately stopped it, turned off the sound, and then loudly started talking about his wife and kids for the rest of the drive. And I just felt so awkward.
Whoa.
I got out of the car and just walked away. And then it was like 2 days later, I was like, why didn't I write something or report something or say anything? And I just was so frozen in the moment. I was like really mad at myself afterwards for not telling this guy off and saying, okay, you're telling me about your wife and kids. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this, let alone while you're driving. But I didn't do anything about it. I just panicked. So those are just a few of my Uber stories.
Okay, just a few of my crazy Uber stories. You should release a coffee book with these stories in it.
Oh gosh.
Holy moly.
The guy exercising suddenly sounds like a hero.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Really. I mean, he could have he should have just had them like on the steering wheel, you know? Like,
Oh my God.
would've been fine.
Innovative.
Yeah, build them into it. He's
Like
had the
maybe he was
strongest
just
grip.
multitasking, like building up those muscles. He was just flexing a lot. And I was like, maybe we want to put both our hands on the wheels. Like I get that I don't always do that. I don't know.
Right.
At the time, it seemed a little strange. But I guess since then, a few stranger things have happened. So
Yeah,
it suddenly
nothing.
doesn't matter anymore.
That's very funny. It's the whole like
Anyone else?
I mean, in Atlanta here, I only have a handful. Like we got in one, Nora and I were taking an Uber to the airport once and it pulled up and it was like the car was falling apart. And like, I'm not exaggerating. Like we couldn't get in the one side because the door was like mangled and falling off. And then so I'm like looking at Nora, I'm like, okay, let's go around. We get in and like every light on his dashboard was on. Like the thing was falling apart. His car was falling apart. And I'm like looking at Nora like, oh, I don't know if we're going to make it to the airport. Sure enough, car starts smoking. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, we're on the interstate. I'm like, you got to get off, man. Like, this is so dangerous. Like, I think your car is just going to fall apart. And he got off. And then it's like, what do we do? Like, do we just call another Uber? And like we're sort of debating. And he's like, no, I'll get you there. I'll get you there. And of course, we're like, all right, let's give it a go. And he did get us there. But like, I swear his car just like disintegrated as soon as we got out. So there was that. And then another weird Uber story is like we were at a bar late night with friends here in Atlanta. It was the Claremont Lounge, classic place in Atlanta. And super late night. We're all sort of leaving and everybody's calling separate Ubers. My friend Graydon's going one way, I'm going the other. My Uber like sort of pulls up and I jump in and I don't see him. I didn't know he was leaving at the same time. So I jump in my Uber and my guy starts to leave this very crowded parking lot. Keep in mind, people are drunk. People are walking where they shouldn't be, including my friend Graydon. Now, I don't know this at the time, but this guy like backs up and I think Graydon hits his car, like pounds on his car. Like you're going to back up into me. The guy, you don't say this is different than Canada to America. Like you don't do this because you don't know who has guns. This guy gets out of his car, my Uber driver, gets out of his car, goes to his trunk, pops it open and is like pulling out weapons. And like, there's like, now I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm like, I don't know it's Graydon. I don't know it's my friend. I don't really know what's going on because it happens all quickly. Blah, 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 commotion. And I'm like, what the heck? And then the guy gets in, he slams the door and he's like fuming, right? He was like nearly going to try and kill somebody. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. That was really rude. I'm driving home and I get a text from Graydon going, dude, are you in that Uber? Because he saw me. And he's
Oh
like,
my
that
God.
guy like threatened to kill me.
He's like, do
And I'm like,
something.
yeah. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, like it all started to click. I'm like, oh my God, that's what that commotion was about. And I'm like, I'm on this guy's side, the Uber's driver's side. I'm like, oh, you can't trust people any day. He's probably. And long story short, like it became this crazy thing because I had the driver's info and like the car, and like it got into it. But then I started to get scared because I'm like, this
They
guy
have
just
your
dropped me off.
address.
He dropped me off at my
Yeah.
house. I don't want to get
Yeah.
this involved. And like, so it was weird. Nothing really happened of it, of course, but it was strange. So those are my sort of two random Uber stories that were like not that crazy, but that one was scary. That one was like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah.
I feel like I have good luck with Ubers. I like don't have bad ones.
Well, we had one bad one together.
Oh,
in
yeah, we
Austin,
did.
Where, speaking of weapons in America, our Uber driver just was talking about how he took a grenade and threw it into the middle of like a courtyard where there were apartments. And he was just telling us all this stuff. And we just got into the car, so we just didn't say anything.
He also told us he had a loaded gun in in the glove compartment, and we were like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like living in, it's so different. I mean, I know it's becoming more and more similar, Canada and America, but there are these like people like you don't know what they have and you don't know what they're going through and how maybe extreme things can get. And it's like, so people, like I was going to say on one hand, people like you don't know what anyone is capable of doing. So you sort of mind your own business. But on the other hand, Americans are very like, they'll speak up for themselves. Like that's a lot different than Canadians. Like, so I was thinking watching that Uber scene.
Yeah.
All of our stories are just like me saying absolutely nothing to a person.
Yeah. Where a lot of Americans, like they'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Turn that off. Stop looking at your phone. I'm talking like even like generic, like you're flipping your phone if it was an Uber driver. Americans are more likely to say something. So I don't know. There's like this weird balance here, but yeah.
Honestly inspired me to like maybe I do need to speak up more because I have been in a couple where they've been on their phone. I feel like for the most part my Ubers have been pretty positive. Like I remember I had a very fun Uber that I got in one time where we like got into the Uber and they had like all these lights and a karaoke machine and I was like, this is the best Uber of my whole life. Like I'm never gonna get a better Uber than this.
Oh, that's good. My best Uber was in New Orleans. I was there for an All-Star weekend, NBA All-Star weekend, and it was going to the airport. And it was like a van Uber. And I was like, I think it was just me. So it was just like one of those random ones where I got a big one. And he had the thing where the TV would drop down in the back. And he put on, remember the show Martin?
Oh my God.
He just put on Martin. And I was like, oh my God, I love Martin. I haven't seen this in like 20 years. And he's like, yeah, great show. And he had it like on DVD and it was playing. And I was like, 5 stars, big tip. I watched Martin at 9 a.m. in the morning on the way to the Uber, to the airport.
Love to hear it. But anyways, let's get back to planes.
Sure.
We learn about some of the training that Nathan's going to have to do for flying a 737. And he's pretty shocked to learn that all of the training that he's going to do is on a flight simulator. And as he puts it, it's going to be the ultimate rehearsal. And so we see him, just a bunch of clips of him practicing in the simulator, in the classroom, doing some of his chair flying and learning. But he's also concerned that they're doing all this, but he doesn't really get to pilot with another person. So they're like, do you train for these disagreements? And the instructor says, no, that's just kind of how the personalities are.
That's just called humans.
Yeah. So what do we think about this flight simulation?
Well, the simulator seems to be really accurate and really good. And that's part of why I think I was a little bit less worried, because I think in typical training, you do go straight from the simulator to flying with another pilot, which is what Nathan did. And his co-pilot, Aaron, seemed to have an enormous amount of experience in flying this specific kind of plane, a 737. So it seemed like a good transition. And we get to see a little bit more of Aaron, which is also great because he seems like a really interesting character.
Yeah. I mean, I know my friend Daryl that did become a pilot and flies in Toronto. Like, he did a ton of this stuff. And like, I don't even think it's like this super duper crazy flight simulator, but he would always talk about like those, like, you know, online ones, right? Like,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
for the lack of a better word, like video game sort of versions.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you're going through the motions and you're like obviously doing all the stuff that you're going to do in real life. So I guess it's just, you know, the rehearsal is just also known as practice.
Yes, literally just practice.
It's just practice.
Yeah, so part of the reason that he picks Aaron is because Aaron seems to have Hollywood aspirations and he might look up to Nathan, and there might be a more interesting dynamic where Nathan is the captain because he feels as if Aaron might want to impress Nathan, whereas other people might not feel that way in their dynamic. And when Aaron is talking about the show he wants to produce, I thought that Nathan had an excellent line about maybe not wanting to be involved in the project. And is this not the most gentle rejection? Nathan says, I'm excited to see it when it's all done. I felt as if that really put a bow in it to say, like, I will not be involved, but I'm so excited to see it when it is 100% complete.
Yeah, you stick with it. Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was such a lovely way to phrase it.
Yeah, Nathan is a really good gentle parent. Like I am like maybe he's watching some Miss Rachel here because the way that he talks to a lot of these pilots and he's so kind and wholesome to them, he just like I feel like he's gentle parenting them.
Yeah, maybe he learned a lot in Rehearsal season 1 and all of his
Mhm.
parenting.
Yeah.
And then the other part is, of course, we learn in the finale, but he has been becoming a pilot for years, and he probably respects and appreciates like these people on a different level, maybe, right? Just the amount of knowledge and work they put in. So
The fact that Nathan actually became a pilot for this show, does it now seem like a cop-out to not actually become a parent for season 1?
yes, yes.
Like, did you try
Oh,
hard
man.
enough?
No, he didn't. No, he tried harder in season 2. That's fair.
Imagine him trying to become a pilot and parenting. Like that's rough.
Wow. Couldn't do it. It's too much work.
So we meet a couple other colorful characters when Nathan goes shopping for a plane, and we learn a little bit about the fact that it's hard to find a 737 that a random person from HBO can just fly. So he ends up going to the aviation boneyards, and these seem incredibly sketchy. Like, where were we when he was going to these places?
I don't know. He said like at one point you got to travel the globe for these places, but then he seems to be talking to a guy that's like, I don't know, from Alabama or I don't know where that guy was from. I couldn't place his accent, but like it felt like he was somewhere in America, like some random state here in America. But wow, man, yeah, super, I was going to say sketchy, but it was more like, oh yeah, I guess these places exist where they just have these like planes that are like, they work, or you can at least operate on them or fix them, I mean, and then they work. It's just I've never thought about it, but there's obviously a place.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I've just never thought about, yeah, if there's a plane crash or like a plane's decommissioned, like where does it go? And
Yeah.
I guess to the boneyard it goes.
To the boneyard. It's just like a car. I mean, it's no different. It's just way bigger. And there's fewer of them at these places, I guess.
To have an ounce of the confidence of this man looking Nathan dead
Oh
in
my
the
God.
eye, saying that the buttons falling off are totally fine,
Oh,
the
so good.
bird's nest, and pointing out even more bird's nests
Another
that are
one?
in this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not a problem. That happens all the time. Nathan saying like, oh, is it supposed to be this hard to open? Exposed wires? Oh yeah, this man would put his family and fly them in this plane. And we should all know that that's a marking of he's being honest, and that's something we should really hold on to.
Oh, I laughed out loud at the button part when, you know,
Oh
he's
my
like,
gosh.
Nate, like Nate, it's so good. You can like picture it happening with anyone, like someone trying to sell you something, of course. And it's like, yeah, this is nothing. And he gives it a go trying to put it in that one spot. And then he's
Oh
like,
my God.
nah, you don't even need this. Like, this isn't that important.
So
Oh.
we know that Donna loves an intelligent man. And maybe this guy is more so exuding confidence, but I felt like aesthetically he was giving Einstein. Is this a duo we could have tried to pair up potentially?
Why not? Yeah, let's get them in the Lizard Lounge for sure.
For
Let him have a
a
drink.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I could see them maybe working. I could at least see them having great conversation. He does exude confidence for sure.
Yeah,
In
he
trying
seems
to
sure
sell,
of himself.
appeared to be a lemon of an airplane
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I have so many more questions about like this guy, just like this whole situation is so wild. And I feel like maybe that's partially why Nathan shows it to us, because I'm sure at some point he like came across that this is a thing. And like, yeah, truly hilarious stuff comes out of it.
Yeah, like he's a mechanic, that guy. So he's
Yeah.
just like at this boneyard, I guess, like taking parts and fixing things. I assume, right? I don't know, but like, is he getting a commission for selling this plane? You know what I mean? Like because he
Also, how
was like,
much-
this is fine, this is good, but like, is he getting a kickback if this thing gets bought by HBO? I don't know. I couldn't tell.
And like, how much are you buying this plane for?
Oh, that's the other
I
thing.
would have done anything to get a price listed on this, and also like a timestamp. How long is it taking
Yeah.
you to find this plane? How many different places have you flown? I would have loved like a little map that showed all the
Yeah.
spots he
Yeah.
went, how many hours it took. That would have been really fantastic. But what I love about Nathan is when he meets these kooky characters, and this is something he could have fully done off camera. I'm sure he went to so many places looking at planes and had just said, you know what, this clearly isn't going to work. But he sits through a whole tour. He really hears this guy out. And what a fun part of the episode. I love
Oh,
a
yeah.
side character.
Yeah, a great character for sure. And
Mhm.
like, you know, like you got like you put yourself in Nathan's shoes or the other producer's shoes, and they find this guy and they find this
Mhm.
place, and they're like, this is going in. Like this
Oh,
is
yeah.
too good a television. And like these exchanges of like, yeah, don't worry about that wire, don't worry about this knob. Yeah, the window's tough to open. Yeah, there's a bird nest. Oh yeah, there's another one over there. Like this is like the type, it's, you get to the point where like you can't write this. You can't. You could not honestly write that. It just wouldn't work when you put it to the pen to paper. But a real person saying it, it's like gold.
Guys, should we be meeting our friends on Craigslist more? There's so many fun characters.
I was just Googling, like, can I buy a plane? And unfortunately, they all say call for price, but maybe I should call and I'll make a new friend in the process.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
how much
LinkedIn
was
pilots apparently reply pretty easily.
that?
Fair.
They're also lonely.
Yes. So Nathan goes on this quest and he finally is able to secure a plane. It looks like it is in much better condition than the other ones that we saw. I think some people on Reddit have like deep dived and found out exactly where this plane came from, all that.
Yeah, they found the exact flight path. They know the exact day he flew on. They know how they repainted the plane and rebranded it for the flight. They have the flight path of the other plane who was taking footage and doing B-roll. Apparently, they went back up into the air to get a bunch of B-roll. But it has been thoroughly researched. If that is your thing, you can find a lot of details on this plane on Reddit.
Yeah, shout out to them, because like I would not even know how to go about trying to figure this out. But we see that Nathan is able to complete his training and becomes the least experienced person who's licensed to fly a 737 in North America. And for a little treat, he takes himself to a magic show.
Yeah, this part was strange too.
I'm like, this was my favorite part.
This is so like this is literally what you would do. You're like, I need a little treat. I'm gonna go to the magic show.
Yeah, I love dinner and a show. I think it's super fun. I ended up doing like a bit of a deep dive onto this magician who I knew nothing about. And so, do you guys want to hear all about Shin Lim?
Oh
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah. So he is a Canadian American magician. So we can all be pleased. We have a wholesome Canadian joining us. And he is known for his card tricks. Specifically, he typically does them silently to music. He was actually the winner of America's Got Talent. And he tends not to speak during his performance and does it to the beat of the song instead. He also fooled Penn and Teller, which I thought was pretty exciting.
Whoa.
So he went to an incredible magic show, and apparently the smoke that we saw, that's normally he does it when he pulls a card out of his mouth. He, I guess, kind of like a dragon, He just decided he wanted to be able to blow smoke while it was happening. It's like part of his aesthetic. It was incredible. And yeah, that's all about Shin Lim. I watched a bunch of clips of him this afternoon.
And so what? He has like some sort of residency, obviously, in Vegas?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. And I didn't realize if you win America's Got Talent, he won $1 million. I didn't realize it was that much.
Wow. Survivor money.
I know.
Jeez.
I was like, that's incredible. I didn't realize it was such a big prize.
I didn't realize that. I thought they literally got like a Vegas show. I mean, I knew they got some money, I thought, but not that much. And then they got like the show or the spot in Vegas to do their thing. But that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good for him. He looked. I mean, I love Magic. It looked like a great show. It was like, okay, cool. It was a great ad for him. I was like, okay, I'll check that out. I'm going to be in Vegas for Summer League soon. I was like, I might look it up. Yeah, I'll report back.
Yeah, oh my God, you have to let us know how it is. I feel like I just love anytime we see some vintage Nathan showing off his magic skills. I feel like we've talked previously before too about how he has been to the Magic Castle. So, Nathan's a big magic guy.
We were talking about if there's a season 3 of the rehearsal, is it going to be about gambling? It's like, is there any possibility of the magic angle too?
That'd be fun.
Maybe.
I think every season is magical.
Well, right. Sound like a true fan right there.
I feel like I'm just one of like 2 people in the world where if someone came up to me at a bar and did like some amateur magic, I'd be like, hello. I'd be like very into it.
I was at a bar here in Atlanta. This is like 10 years ago. It was like right when we moved here. And that exact thing happened. It was like at a bar where like they hire someone to like walk around and do like up close magic. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. And then I've seen Penn and Teller in Vegas. That was incredible. I'm a weird David Blaine fan. I've never seen him in person, but like, love all that weird crap. So yeah, it's nice to know Nathan's into it as well.
I feel like there's just no way to not be hype when you're like seeing someone do a magic trick in real life. You just like, it's so exciting every time. Like I'm a dummy, so like you can fool me easily. So if anyone wants to come up to me and do a magic trick, like I'm all eyes.
Kelly wears glasses. Her vision's a little poor. You can get away with a lot. To me, there's just something about a skill or like a career or something where it's purely for fun. Like there's no use for magic for anything other than that's just like pure enjoyment. It's like fireworks. Like it's nothing other than someone was like, this is pretty and fun. And it's like for that to be someone's whole bit, unless they're using sleight of hand to rob you, like it's very wholesome and fun for like no reason other than it's silly.
Yeah. No, I can't remember the specifics, but I was just at a friend's house and he pulled out like there's a weird like Chuck Klosterman like game that you pull out like Klosterman questions, and one of them had to do with like this whole hypothetical about magic and like the idea of like would you like spoil it for people or would you not? Again, I'm butchering it here, so I won't even like go into it any further, but I was like, it got everybody talking. Like the whole point of this game is like, obviously it's this fun hypothetical and everybody debates it. And people have a lot of opinions on magic is what I was getting at. It's like, it was the most spirited debate of the night at the kitchen table. So
yeah, I feel like a lot of people really don't like it, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, but I think it's very like some people love it and some people absolutely hate it. And you're on like one end of the spectrum or the other. There's like not a lot of people like, yeah, magic, it's fine. It's like, no, this is awesome. This is so cool. I want to believe, blah, blah, blah. And then there's like, this is dumb. What a waste of time. Why are we doing this? So I'm pro magic though.
Yeah, I don't think it's real.
No.
Just want to clarify. I don't think it's real, but I think it's really cool. Are you good? Are you doing the transition? I think you are, Kelly. Things we think are real.
No, I was going to say now is a good time to talk about the fact that this podcast is sponsored by Now You See Me 3 coming up in theaters later this year. I'm joking.
And Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing goes better with magic than a Diet Pepsi.
Oh, so crispy and fresh.
Watch me make this drink disappear.
Oh my
God, it's perfect. Yeah, you're hired. But I was going to say, so you guys talked about the gambling thing and the magic thing as potential ideas for season 3. I actually was thinking in a different direction, which is where we go next, which is to this kind of kooky doctor with the bow tie, Dr. Jordan. And I was wondering if maybe we were going to be investigating something to do with like medical practices or kind of like grifty doctors could maybe be an interesting one.
Yeah. Is it true there's a rumor? I don't know. You don't know what's going on the internet, but like he's like maybe hadn't like seeked out Elizabeth Holmes. Have you guys seen this?
Yes,
he did.
Yeah. So that speaks to what you're saying, Kelly, like that angle, I guess, about the grifters and the medical world. And obviously, I guess it's a possibility.
Malpractice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. This guy was a character though, this dude.
Yeah, I actually read, well, Megan saw this earlier, but I saw a thing that there's a startup. I don't know where they're located, but their whole thing is that they install a little thing on your toilet to help diagnose things via human waste. And they just got $4 million in funding. So maybe this is like Nathan's new project.
Wow. Okay.
Just saying, just throwing it out there.
We were saying it does feel Elizabeth Holmes coded.
The toilet diagnostics called Throne. Yeah, it sounds like an Elizabeth Holmes project to me. Sorry if one of our listeners founded this company.
Yeah.
If he did, let us know though.
Just be careful of the yogurt, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
Frozen yogurt. Bring it back.
But yes, so we meet Dr. Jordan. He has a bit of an eccentric look. He wears a bow tie. I did go on his Yelp page to try and determine if he always wears a bow tie. There were lots of pictures of him not wearing the bow tie, but then a couple of reviews saying that he looks great in a bow tie. So mixed bag. If you go see this guy, he might be in one, or he might just be, in a normal outfit.
I'm sorry. Is he paying people to write this? Because who goes online to leave a Yelp review about their doctor and is commenting on their attire? They're like, oh, this man looks so good in a bow tie. Him and all of his burner accounts.
I also checked out that Yelp page for this doctor, and it's like, I don't know if they're fake or real, these reviews, but man, they are crazy, the detail of what people will share about their own diagnosis, and then about obviously him and his staff and all that. It's like, okay, I just find like people that read like leave those type of reviews so fascinating. People just want to share,
especially for your doctor. Like, I don't know, it feels odd.
You're probably gonna see them again.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, but I mean, he had pretty good reviews.
He did,
like,
yeah.
Overall, I was like, oh, these are pretty good. Yeah. So if they're real, then good for him.
Yeah, I feel like people on Reddit were like debating the legitimacy of the fMRI for like diagnosing certain things, which like none of us are doctors, just in case anyone was here for real medical advice.
You can leave Yelp reviews about our outfits though if you really want.
I should have worn a bow tie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we all should have. But yeah, people seem to think that this might be dubious. I asked my coworker whose wife is a psychiatrist, and he was like, they can diagnose some stuff. Like there's some markers in the brain, blah, blah, blah. So who knows?
I have no clue. If the, fMRI, is that what it was called? Yeah.
Some people on Reddit have written that this is completely false. You could never diagnose that. Other people have said you can in some aspects. There's certain markers you can read. I'm not sure. So we won't comment on that, but we can talk about just in general around the doctor and your thoughts on Nathan even going and getting this test.
Oh my God. I need to talk about the one option that just says, like, it's like all of these things like lose a loved one, feeling afraid of something. And then one of the options was just go thirsty. And I'm like, one of these is not like the other.
Oh, again, little plug for Diet Pepsi. Maybe there was a Diet Pepsi in the background of that shot. Subliminal messaging. I was like, okay, he's in the machine, and they were showing you those, like, did they say, I think her name was Roxanne, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
We're going to show you those three, like, they're not even statements. They're like, yeah, just two words together, and pick one. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
And then obviously think about it, and I guess your brain will have the reaction to it. I'm like, I thought that was so odd.
You'd have to be a really good method actor.
I was like, I would be so distracted between the three of them and which one I'm picking and all that. Like, just give me one. I think I can operate with that. But I was so confused by that, if that's how they actually do it. But maybe they figured it out.
And she didn't clarify at all for Nathan, who was like, do I picture my whole family pass away?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
One member, just a few? And she's like, sure, any of that, just a few is fine. It's like, what do you mean? Tell me specifically what you want. It seems like you're diagnosing a lot of things that will have a very big impact on my life. I also feel like there's a few of these we could have actually played out. Like if you want to scare someone, could someone not have like grabbed his leg really dramatically? Could we have asked him not to drink before this and then had him think about like opening like a crisp can of Diet Pepsi near his ear?
Yes.
Being like, can you think of a refreshing drink right now? Like help the guy out.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like him. He's like in the MRI machine, and it's like a little haunted house action, and there's just people like jumping out at him and scaring him, or
I'm
like
sneaking around, like
showing him shocking magic tricks. Like
I have a voice recording of like his mom and dad that I've clipped to sound like they're in danger. I have them on the phone.
I mean, yeah, you'd really elicit like some brain activity doing that. A lot more than just reading those two words. You're right.
We have a plane simulation. Can we not tailor this a little bit more to a person? We don't know what they're actually picturing. What if their brains wandered off? Their mind is somewhere else. They're not thinking about the words in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that's why this is dubious, this whole thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I need to know about you 2 months before your test so I can do a deep dive online, find out everything about you, and then cater this specifically to you.
There's a rehearsal going on within the rehearsal is what you're saying. Yeah, there's levels to this. Wow.
yeah, I really liked when he had to tell Roxanne that he was a comedian.
That was really funny.
That was very funny.
And I was gonna say, Phil, I know you guys were talking about fake jobs on Survivor.
Mm.
How do we feel about comedian as a fake job? Because that's my go-to fake job.
In real life, or that would be on Survivor, your go-to
In
fake
real
job?
life.
So somebody asks you at a party and you just say, I'm a comedian?
Only if I'm like at a bar.
I've never heard that before. I have never once heard you say that before.
I mean, you are funny. Like, I'll give you that. But that's
But it's like, it shocks people, and they like, you can just kind of make up silly follow-up. Like if they have follow-ups, you can make up dumb shit, and no one's
Yeah.
ever like, tell me a joke. And if they do, then you can kind of roast them. So it's a really good one if you're out somewhere.
I feel like that is immediately what people would say. I feel like the expectations for you being funny are now super high.
No, because I can be like a Nathan Fielder, where it's like, oh, I'm like a dry comedian. I'm like
Right.
Anthony Jeselnik kind of thing.
Okay. All
But do
right,
we
wow.
think this is a good persona to pretend you are on Survivor?
I guess you don't get that. You're right. The first thing people are going to say is like, oh, tell me a joke. Hardy, har, har. And then you're going to like, you're right. Kelly's right. You can just be like, sort of make fun of them, or like, that's not what I don't like do punchlines like that. Whatever I do.
You can write some Survivor themed jokes and bring them in. You can be
Yeah.
ready
Yeah.
for this.
You can have a tight five ready to go.
Yeah, you could. And you're on a television show, so maybe you should. Yeah, you can rip it in confessionals.
You accidentally become a real comedian.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We've talked about it on the show on No Buffs, like, because there is a lot of lying about, like, obviously you don't want to say you're a lawyer, and a lot of people just go with teacher. That seems to be like the classic, like, I guess like people like respect a teacher, and you are generally sweet and kind and like patient, and it makes sense, like the traits sort of associated with a teacher, underpaid as well. But I think you just have to go with something that you've done, right? Like a little bit. So it's different for everyone. Like I've had so many jobs that I would just say like, oh, I'm a window washer, or I work in a convenience store, or, you know, I'm a physician recruiter. Like these are all jobs I had for, you know, way back in the day that I could at least speak to a little bit. And then they're all boring enough that people are going to be like, okay. After 3 questions, nobody's going to care.
Non-threatening.
Yeah.
I would pitch. I would say that I'm a failed magician and I'm really bad at deceiving people, and it's not working out for me, and I keep trying, but I can't do it. So then the expectations are that I'm unemployed, that I'm not good at deceiving people. And if people want to see any magic, I'm like, well, I'm not good at it. And also I have no cards.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, that's why saying comedian is good in Survivor, because I think people would be like, oh, so you're unemployed, basically, is what you're saying. Like,
So you're broke.
Yeah. So do you live at home, and like, what, you go to open mic nights? Yeah. So that part's good. Yeah.
They can't look you up because you're on the island. So you're kind of like it's really the best time to lie about something like this.
Yeah.
What about pilot? Do we think that's a good fake job?
Yeah.
No,
Too interesting.
Wholesome.
it's too interesting. Like I would have so many questions. Like just like because you're so bored out there, right? Like I would have so many questions, and not that I'm going to know the answers, but like you sort of got to know a little. Like you got to like you'd have to explain a lot if you didn't actually weren't a pilot. So I think that's a tough one to lie about personally.
So maybe boneyard mechanic.
There we go.
You're like, I sell decommissioned 737s.
You don't need this button. It's fine if there's birds living in it. You don't have to know that much about flying. You're like, wires exposed. It's all good.
You just like accidentally came up with a brilliant Survivor season. And that is take all characters from Nathan's world, his universe.
I have a list.
Oh my God. You could get 20 of the most fascinating people and just put them on an island for $1 million and they would all do it.
We can't do this to people because again, this is for probably 10 of us, but completely separately from this, can we do a draft?
Yeah, separately. This is a whole other show.
Yeah,
Separately.
this is a whole other episode.
That's a good show. Yeah, we can literally draft teams. Wow, that'd be good.
Okay, remember when people were doing the fake seasons? Who was it? Doing the simulations?
Oh, on Brant Steele?
We should do it. Yeah, we should do a Brant Steele. Okay.
Wow.
I thought
This
you were
is
going to say
separate.
boneyard mechanics versus pilots versus comedians.
Yeah, it's the new bronze
perfect.
versus beauty versus braids. Yeah.
I do wish people had taglines more and were more punny in general about their careers. Like I feel like if you're on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, people always like have a lot of puns related to your job. And most of the people there are unemployed or want to be influencers. I don't know how so many people on
You
Survivor
really came for those people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jesus.
No, I mean, none of them are listening. It's okay. But I feel as if everyone on Survivor really embodies their career. And they all seem to get clearance from their work to come and do the show and then go back to it. I feel as if a lot of other reality shows, they have to pick between going on the show and their job.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. Yeah, and like Survivor, like your job is a huge part of your identity, right? And they do. I feel like they really leaned into it back in the day, like earlier Survivor seasons. Like I'm a farmer, I'm a teacher, and it's like we got a lot more about their profession. And like I feel like that's not as big a deal anymore, even though they still lie about stuff. But you're right about like, yeah, you just gotta like, hey, I need 4 months or whatever. I need 2 months off.
Now it's like what, 28 days?
Hey, I need 8 days off. I gotta go do Survivor. Yeah.
Okay, so back to Nathan. We see him, he's deep in the Reddit search. He's trying to figure out, how people are filling out this form for the FAA. And what we find out is that a lot of the pilots are posting about the fact that, like, if you get diagnosed with something, like, they're kind of asking, why would you go get an official diagnosis at all? You could be risking your license. And so Nathan decides that when he's filling out his medical form, that with the knowledge that he currently has, he is fit to fly, which I think we can all support because we want to see him fly that damn plane.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that whole part of like when he's doing the questionnaire and it's like that was a big pop for me, the depression, anxiety, and then the et cetera. And he's like, et cetera. Like, what that is so vague. What does this mean? But then, of course, he explores it and goes and like debates whether he's going to get his test results. But then he just finds out he's not going to get his test results in time either. So he's like, well, I guess none the wiser. I guess I'm good to go.
I think they definitely planned it that way because, they're scheduling a lot. It's a big production. They're filming his test. So it's everything that they had to plan. So going in, he had to know, and they wanted to plan it similarly to the old man in the swimming pool coming in and interrupting him in core. It's like, we have this, I could have told you something really personal about myself, but I have manufactured a situation where, I won't be able to get the results in time and we must carry forward. But I would have told you guys all this if I could have.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there is over the last 3 episodes of this series, this idea of like, is Nathan autistic? And like that plays out at the end of this episode. And he's like dancing around this idea as well. And again, how much is that what's he doing with that? What's his commentary on that part of this whole thing? I find fascinating.
Yeah, I also find it very fascinating. I feel like earlier in the season, I was very like, oh, I think he's not being sincere about a lot of this. Like, I think he's just doing it for TV. But I actually changed my mind after watching this episode and reading his interview with Vulture. And now I think he's being a lot more sincere with the interest in aviation and pilots and all of that. And then also with the autism potential diagnosis that never comes through. So yeah, it's interesting how it can shift through episode to episode.
Yeah, I think the commentary is a lot more about how pilots are currently being discouraged from getting help and actually working on themselves and getting a lot of people the mental health supports that they need, and how they're being told that they will be grounded. And for a lot of pilots, and a lot of people, your career is a really big part of your life. If you're really passionate about flying planes, even starting to explore therapy or mental health is something that could get you grounded. And then suddenly you don't have this huge part of your life and your career anymore. And so it's always better. And as they say, it's not as if the results are negative or positive. It's just more information about who you are as a person to set yourself up for success. And just having that level of understanding can only improve your situation and improve yourself, because you're just learning more and getting yourself equipped and providing more tools to help you succeed as a person. And so almost more so than the communication issue, I find that this seems to be a glaring issue where pilots are being blatantly discouraged from seeking medical help. And a lot of the time it's being labeled as, oh, that means you're not fit to fly. But one doesn't equal the other. There's lots of people who can have anxiety, and if you learn to manage it, and especially in the situation that they're describing, where if it doesn't affect you in your job, it's fine. So they just need to really clear that up and bridge that gap. And I'm really hoping that that becomes a much larger subject, and that a lot of pilots, as we saw on Reddit, who are saying, oh, why would you even pursue a diagnosis? Why would you ever go to the doctor for something? Why would you ever get anything written on paper? You're never going to be able to fly again. So that seems to be a really big topic where hopefully the FFA starts exploring that more and can get pilots much better healthcare.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, there's that scene where he's talking to John, and Nathan says, what do I have to lose? If this, who cares? I'm not a pilot. I have another job. I obviously am a comedian and I make a television show. But then, it seems like he fell in love with being a pilot.
Yeah.
And in fact is continuing to do so, as we learn, as we get on into in this episode. And so then so what you're saying, Megan, he's like, I don't want to know these results, because then there's the fear that maybe I'm removed from being that, and I'm stripped of what now I enjoy and like to do. So yeah. So again, and it's this whole show is just a mind fuck, right? It just does your head in in a good way, because you're asking these questions, but you're like, is any of this real, or what's real, and where's it all blur and stuff like that.
And also, this is a comedy.
Allegedly.
How did we get here?
But yeah, you're right. But that part wasn't actually funny when he deletes it, right?
Yeah.
It was actually I guess it was, but it also was
most of this episode I didn't find funny, but I found it unbelievably interesting and engaging. Yeah. And you get all these big shock moments where you're just in complete disbelief about, what he's doing. And also there seems to have also been a commentary on actors throughout this, of how they're more willing to do things and how people interact and are influenced by being on film and camera. But it's just a really incredible way to end the season. We get a much longer episode than normal, which is nice. And we really get to dive into this mental health component at the end here.
Yeah, one other thing, we see Nathan kind of doing this, I called it a confessional in my notes, where he is talking straight at the camera, clearly meant to show to Congress, or perhaps he was practicing for when he was going to talk to everyone on the flight. But should he have kept the Sully mustache?
100%.
Or would it have taken away from the seriousness of this moment?
Well, do we mean he should have grown a mustache or worn a fake mustache?
I guess he's pretty committed. Maybe he should have grown his own.
Guys, he's not growing a mustache. Did you see when he had scruff in the the shots of him in the
Yeah.
plane, those 2 years where he's obviously not like, he's just like learning to be a pilot. It was like, I don't think he's going to grow a very good beard or mustache. I think that was going to be always difficult for him. So
Kelly, this is a sensitive topic.
I just don't think he can, like, look, I have a beard. I mean, it's not a great beard. So I am not saying I am like
You
beard
have a
almighty.
very thick mustache.
I have a good mustache.
Yeah,
I have a
very good mustache.
but patchy on some of the sides. But
You could be a pilot with that mustache for
yeah,
sure.
I do have. Obviously, when you grow a beard, you have to at one point say, "Okay, take off the rest of the beard, do a joke mustache for a day or a week." So I have photos of me with a mustache. But I to answer your question, I think it was better in his Survivor-like confessional to not have the fake mustache or a real mustache. It was more sincere.
Yeah, I'm curious when like Emmys and stuff come around, because the show is obviously going to be submitted for comedy, but like, yeah, I don't think this episode was very funny at all.
No funny moments, but like, man, like I was anxious as this episode goes on when we get to the actual flying the
Oh
737.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Were you anxious, etc.?
I was. Yes, I was. I wasn't depressed, but I was anxious and a little bit of etc. Yeah, which was exciting.
We see Nathan, you know, he's meeting up with Aaron, and he gets onto the 737, and we're gonna do this flight. He's gonna really fly this 737. He's gonna be the captain, and our pal Aaron is gonna be the first officer.
It was exciting. It was like the music was building, and it was like, and it's like, again, you're like, I'm like, okay, I know nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, well, I guess like Aaron could have taken complete controls and he could have had a meltdown and I can't do it. So there was that. You're waiting to find out. But you know, like, no one's dying. Otherwise, we're going to hear that in the news. So it's I guess, like, how does this go wrong? Does he get cold feet and like Aaron takes over? But yeah, that the music was like getting so intense, and it was like,
oh my god,
super exciting.
the music was incredible. And like, I think for me, obviously, like I'm cheering Nathan on. I want to see him be able to do this. But I think the thing that I found the most fascinating was how well he was able to do the actual like takeoff. He's doing the flying, all of that. But then he's able to like switch back into being like, okay, now how can I turn this into the TV moment? And we still need to tackle this airline communication situation. Like, he is an amazing producer for this show.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't anxious or worried about the flight at all. I saw him on like Instagram reels like a week ago at the Alligator Lounge, slinging drinks, meeting up with fans. I'm not worried about anyone's safety, but it was really exciting. And also I felt like you could see how personable he actually is, being able to bring up the joking acting roles. He remembered his lines really well. He was able to engage Aaron and really pull Aaron out of his shell. And so I thought that that was a really great part where they are getting the footage they need to submit for John to say, hey, look how this little joking bit that I made up actually got us to communicate better.
Aaron was like perfect for him too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, he seemed super chill, super sweet. He had confidence in Nathan. Like, the only weird moment was like, he didn't seem to hear Nathan, right? Like,
Yeah, he just was not listening.
he was
I
just
think.
zoning out. Like, he was big time zoning out. But then, you know, Nathan has to like lean into like, oh, did you purposely ignore me? Like, what are you really thinking? And I think he was like confused. Like, no, I didn't hear what you said. I just like, I was like looking at these weird bright lights, whatever he said. I sort of believed him, but yeah, he was so good. Like, cause he like, what is that guy thinking in this moment too? Like a million things.
Everyone, all of the actors too. Like, obviously we don't really hear from them at all about like how they were feeling about this situation. We just know that they all agreed to do it. But like, yeah, on the flight, like when they're back there, are they all talking to each other? Like, is he really flying this plane? Because like they really don't know for sure who's flying.
Yeah, it's a good point. That is a good point. They could be like, he's not flying it. He's like, who knows what's going on up there? Like whatever shenanigans he's up to. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I was really expecting Aaron to try to talk to Nathan a lot more than he did. Similar to Christian, where he had Jeff Probst's attention for like 5 hours. You have Nathan Fielder sitting beside you You technically have his full attention for at least a few hours. I thought maybe he would try to sneak some conversation in there, but he really just seemed to be very professional, focused fully on the flight. If anything, a little not focused enough on Nathan. And so I was really expecting him to be kind of yapping his ear off the whole time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I was in a weird way, it's like they didn't get a lot really from this miscommunication or butting heads of strangers in the cockpit. Like it was like, I don't know, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It just turns out like have a little bit of like, small talk and look at each other and be kind. And it's like, you'll probably be okay if you're both like somewhat normal people. It's like, it just wasn't as explosive to me, like to show John or maybe the FAA, like, oh, look at this. We were headed down the wrong path. Like, I don't know. I didn't get that. Didn't seem like that at all.
I feel like if we had Jeff in the cockpit, this could have gone a lot differently.
Yeah.
The other thing, and like not to call Nathan out here, but he knows Aaron already. We saw them have interactions, so this kind of defeats the whole purpose of the exercise because they already had a prior relationship. They know each other.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All we've been told is that this, the pilot and the co-captain, like they just see each other and meet each other for the first time, but they already had a somewhat of a previous relationship. They were just so like hell bent on like, I think they were worried about whatever co-pilot being like, whoa, this is Nathan Fielder. This is wild. Or like whatever. They were so like, he will respect me as a captain because of this whole like production element. And he's into making, maybe television or movies eventually. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it showed a very real interaction. Whereas if we got someone like Jeff, when they're actually submitting this footage, they might say, okay, this is over dramatized. This is a very extreme version. This isn't actually what it's like when two coworkers are in the cockpit together. Whereas this is a very real interaction. It felt very genuine. And we even did see that Aaron had held back some information about takeoff and wasn't fully expressing himself. And Nathan was able to pull that out of him, which was really great.
Yeah, that's true. That was the one moment. He was like, okay, well, you want me to like, critique you, I guess. He was just being kind, it felt like. He's like,
yeah,
I could have said something, but like, you're learning to fly a 737. You're doing pretty good. Like, okay, I got you on the flaps, but I guess I should have told you technically. So that was cool.
And I'm sure part of it is also like they showed that Aaron has whatever, like 7,000 hours flying 737s or something. So I'm sure part of it was just like they really wanted someone who was extremely, extremely familiar with this plane to be, in the cockpit with Nathan. But just thought I would point it out.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, how much did insurance cost to do this?
Oof.
Probably an ungodly amount.
Right? Has to be.
150 actors on the plane. Oh my God. And like all of the rest of it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're like signing some crazy things, I'm sure, like not liable, all that, but still, I don't know. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, so we do see that the flight kind of goes off without a hitch, seemingly. We had the one flap issue, but other than that, we don't really have anything going wrong. And Nathan is able to stick the landing. And we see this really wholesome moment where he comes out of the plane and everyone's clapping for him. Guys, I was so like gonna cry.
Yeah, he was pumped. Now, again, he may have planned all that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, get everybody out there, have them applaud for me. But he was genuinely like when he landed that thing too. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's acting in that moment. It was like, holy crap. I literally just landed a 737 sort of by myself. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think he did do it by himself. Like he had Aaron there, but I think he was the one who actually landed it. And based on all the information we have, that's actually unbelievably difficult. And it was his main issue with his private pilot's license was sticking that landing. So for him to do it, what we think is the first shot after the simulator is really, really impressive. And it must have been a really proud moment for him. I loved getting to see Emma again, our actress, come and really encourage him to continue flying and asking him if he's going to get a plane now. And everyone was so enthusiastic. It was really lovely.
Yeah, I feel like all of the actors just seem to have really good chemistry all together. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like they're all having a good time on this production. I know in that article I keep referencing from Vulture, Nathan talked about the fact that he really wants to make sure that everyone on his shows, you know, comes away with having like a positive reaction to being on the show and just generally having good feelings about, you know, being involved in the production. So really nice to see that everyone seemed to have a good time on this flight, from what we saw at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, like it didn't seem like a bumpy landing at all. And like, there was like, you would think they would show us that, like if like things were falling all over the place in there, and like, it seemed like a pretty like routine and like totally flawless flight that just went up in the air and came back for 2 hours, like, which is a pretty funny thing to think about, to get on a flight and then come back. I guess that happens in some scenarios when like something goes wrong, but not in this case.
Yeah, the only small concern Aaron had was the second airplane getting a little bit close to them. But other than that, everything seemed to go off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brought it up a couple times. He was legit like,
Yeah.
I don't like how
Worried.
close this plane is. Yeah. He was like trying to keep it cool, but you could tell he's like, this isn't good. Like, it's getting a little too close to my liking. Yeah.
Which, like, fair.
Yeah.
We get the moment that I think we've all been waiting for all season after this, which is we're finally back for the finale of Wings of Voice. And the way that I, like, throughout watching this episode, forgot about Wings of Voice somehow, even though it's like all I've been thinking about while we've been talking about this show. And then when it came back, I was like, oh my God, thank God we're here. We've arrived. And we meet our winner, who is Isabella Hanau. Oh my gosh. What did you guys think? What was your reaction?
I'm with you. I had completely forgotten about the show, the Wings of Voice. And then it like happens right at basically the end of the episode. It's like, oh yeah, this. And we saw some old faces, of course. And we got the little stirring rendition on the piano at first of Evanescence. And then boom, into the full-blown rock version. And we were off and running. It was amazing. It was perfect. Perfect way to like come back to that. Put a little button on it. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Isabella has been all over Reddit, all over online, being so enthusiastic. It just really feels like she's super kind, very excited about the production, really excited about Wings of Voice, has only said positive things about her experience there and HBO. And it really seems like she could probably go and do a cover with Evanescence at this rate. So a really fun way to put a little bow on this season. And she seems incredible. So it's a really fun, positive note.
Yeah. Like if not a cover, you can at least see her on stage at a show, right?
Totally.
Like
For sure.
that would be, I mean, that's gotta happen. Has to happen. Because she's not bad either. I was like, oh
No,
damn.
she was really good.
Talented, yeah. So
she was almost certainly like pigeonholed into doing this song, right? Like I'm sure she didn't randomly pick, like she probably doesn't have this in her repertoire. So for her to be this good when like this might not even be kind of her normal style or anything like that, I feel like really speaks to how good she is at singing.
There was one random part where like when it's announced she wins and was like, how do you feel? She says something like, I had to travel a lot. And I like for some reason that like made me laugh out loud, like this whole concept of aviation and like what did she even mean? Like, is she flying? Is she driving? I don't know. But like just a funny thing to say on the show called Wings of Voice, on a show about aviation safety. That, oh yeah, I had to travel a lot, so I'm happy I won.
Yeah, I feel as if it was almost a nod to Lana Love being really upset with HBO about her amount of travel, whereas Isabel has been very much the opposite online. Wow. Saying how it was really no problem. It was completely her expectations being a contestant. She was told from day one exactly what the show was, all the expectations of it, and it's exactly what she signed up for. So I almost thought that might have been a nod to that. It might have been a complete coincidence. I might be reading into it way too much. But that's what I thought of when she mentioned the travel.
Oh man, you think they went in and re-edited after the article dropped to be like...
They dubbed it in.
Maybe we should find out from if anyone had screeners, because I know they sent out screeners with all 6 episodes. So people who got them early saw them all at once. Let us know if that was changed. I would be very curious. But yeah, so we we see this going on, and then Nathan kind of drops this bomb on us that he has been in his spare time after all of this is over piloting empty 737s to relocate them, which, like, absolutely shocking. I kind of figured this would be like a one and done, but it sounds like he's still doing this to this day.
This is when the show is like, oh my God, what? You're right. I was like, okay, he did this. Incredible. All for the show. Amazing. And then we're told, no, I continue to do this to fly all over the world to help, move these planes. And again, it goes like he seems to really enjoy this and is like fallen in love with this, with flying. So yeah, this was like, we're suddenly got footage of him with like an Ecuadorian soldier and stuff like that. Like, what? Flying over the Amazon, he said, like going on these super long trips. Like, when is he doing all this?
Yeah, like literally, when does he have the time? Because was he not also like filming The Curse? Like, it just feels like it's wild.
Aviation is now his passion.
Yeah, he did say in that article, like he did have to turn down, I think, opportunities. Like, hey, come get this plane. He's like, I can't do that. So I guess he wasn't doing everyone, but he was picking and choosing what he wanted to do, maybe. Going to do it.
But yeah, honestly, just incredible. Like, what a wild season. I feel like we learned a lot about aviation. And then at the end, we kind of see that he has gotten his results from the fMRI, and he decides to delete the message. And he tells us they only let the best and smartest people fly these planes. No one with anything wrong with them is allowed in the cockpit. So if you're here, you must be fine.
And that's it.
That's the end.
There's like a shot of the plane or something, or like in the plane.
Yeah, what? Put that on a throw pillow.
Yeah.
A very dramatic way to end the season. The show was cutting between Nate at Nate's Lizard Lounge, looking at his results and Isabella's performance. And while he was at Nate's Lizard Lounge, which we know is in a completely different location than this fake airport that she is performing at, they had the same blue flashing lights as if he was standing watching the performance, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, like the zoom into the eyes. It's all about reading the eyes. And,
exactly.
It's just like that abrupt end to it too, and you're left like, whoa. That's
the
it?
Perfect ending. Yeah. Actually, the perfect ending.
It was.
I really want to go back now and watch like the very beginning of the first episode, because I'm like, is it literally a bookend? Does it start right there on his eyes in that flamey situation? Because I can't remember, but I will go check later on.
Yeah, they were showing in the first episode, if I remember, it was the simulation where there was all of the people who were dying from a plane crash, and he was walking amongst them, looking at them, and maybe it was to rehearse for the worst case situation where he failed as a pilot. Maybe it was to get himself ready for this plane. It's really hard to tell when he did what in what order, but what an incredible ending.
It was so good. I love this season. I loved it even more than the season 1 of the rehearsal. And yeah, front to back, like every episode in this season I thought was good. And it sort of got better and better too as it went on. Where I think at times in season 1, I think there was like a little bit more ups and downs, but this one, oh my God, so in, and just the concept in general, and just, yeah, he doubles, triples down. And the reveal the 2 years earlier, like I think a lot of people, again, expected like he's going to learn, but then it just went even to a level that even I'm sure a lot of people are like, no way. No, that's not possible. Like how? And then of course they explained it to you.
Yeah, I feel like the Sully episode especially is going to go down as like a legendary episode of TV, and probably this finale as well. Probably like two of the best episodes of TV that I've seen.
I know it's early, I guess, since it aired, but I think the finale has insane like reviews and ratings, and like one of like the best rated so far, one-off episodes. So I'm with you. It was awesome. Like everyone that I've, watched the show with, friends, like everyone's like, that was perfect. Like for an insane show like this, what a like beautiful in a weird way, like finale. Very poetic and like, it's so good.
Absolutely. And I had a friend who actually hasn't seen the rehearsal before who messaged me who had started season 1, episode 1. And he sent me a screenshot of Nathan standing behind Core with his laptop and said, "This is the craziest thing I've ever seen." And I was like, wow, what a ride you are about to go on, because that is child's play, my friend. And I got to explain that he's not even scratching the surface of where we're going, and being able to relive that first moment of the first episode of the rehearsal where you're like, wow, what are we doing, all the way up to the finale of season 2 that we just got to experience, and knowing what people are about to experience and how deep we're going and how many years of effort Nathan has put into this. And just finding out he's even doing this as a hobby on his own. From even in the Vulture article, I think he said he wasn't like necessarily pursuing a pilot's license, and then decided, you know what, this is what I need to do for the show. And where he's come and speaking about all these different issues. We're touching on mental health, autism awareness, anti-Semitism, and somehow doing it in this really wacky, creative, and funny comedic way, which I think resonates a lot more with people and really helps people dive into serious issues when you put humor around it as well. It makes people a little bit more comfortable in broaching the topic. So I think he's just done an incredible thing with TV that we haven't seen before. And it is so rare and so difficult to even be able to say that sentence nowadays. Like, everything's a remake of something else. And unless there's something on the internet I'm really missing, this feels so original and so unique and so special.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone should definitely check out that Vulture article that we have been talking about. If you really love this show, you will get a lot out of it. The author, I believe, talked to Nathan for like 2 hours, so there's a ton of extra info. But yeah, this has been such a fun season to cover. And Phil, thank you so much for coming on to chat with us.
I really appreciate it. I was honored to come on for this finale of all the finales.
Oh
I
my
mean, what an
gosh.
episode of all the episodes, I should say. I was like pretty pumped that this was the one. But yeah, great work covering the show. What happens now for the two of you? You just take a little break here until his next crazy show?
I think we're going to do a little season retrospective.
Okay.
And then we'll probably go back and finish Nathan for you.
Okay, right. Still working
Long
through
time
that.
coming.
I forgot that, yeah.
I got some messages from someone who said, please find the strength to go and finish Nathan for you. Because I think in our minds, it had actually been, I thought we had a lot more left. And then recently we saw we only had 3 episodes left. And I'm like, I promise we're going to go back. We are going to finish it. We've been talking about maybe covering the curse. So there's lots more to come. We promise we will keep you posted and we'll let you know what's next.
And Nathan, come on the show. I'm going to reach out to my friends that know him. And maybe we can make this happen.
Please.
The dream.
I'll give it a go. I legit will.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Let the people know where to find you. If anyone who is not following all of your amazing podcasting, tell the people where you're at.
Yeah, if you're a basketball fan, we do a daily show called No Dunks. It's on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern every morning. We go live on YouTube, breaking down the games and the biggest storylines. It's obviously a podcast on Apple, Spotify. Just search for No Dunks. And then we do a Survivor podcast called No Buffs. And I do that with my wife, Nora, and 2 of the other guys from No Dunks, Trey and JD. And we have a lot of fun talking about Survivor. We've done it for 7 or 8 seasons at this point. So we are not the best of the best. We're not your Rob Sesterninos, but we have a lot of fun, and we don't hold back either. So yeah, check that out. That's No Buffs. So yeah, if you're a Survivor fan. But thanks, guys.
Yeah, big fan of No Buffs.
Appreciate it. Can't wait to find out and talk about Survivor 50 and the cast. That's coming up soon.
This has been Kelly and Megan and Phil on your side.
Hey y'all, jump scare at the end of the pod. Kelly from the editing room here. We were about to get kicked off of our recording studio. However, we did not want to forget our number 1 favorite tradition on the podcast, which is asking people if it's cheating, if it's with a ghost. So please enjoy this little clip that I'm adding to the end here.
Okay, Phil, we need to know, is it cheating if it's with a ghost?
I say no, but also I don't believe in ghosts.
Your wife
So
comes to you.
therefore-
That's fair.
She says, I have something to tell you. A very handsome ghost in a bow tie came to see me, and I indulged. How mad are you?
You're taking her for an fMRI, definitely.
Yeah,
it
I
sounds
guess
like.
so. Yes. It's like, is that Dr. Jordan? Oh my God. He's got great Yelp reviews. I say that's great, sweetie, because I don't, I know it didn't happen. I don't believe it. But if she likes it, then it's good. That's good for her.
You would encourage pursuing the relationship.
Yeah.
Nora,
Yeah.
it sounds like you've got a free hall pass.
Yeah. With a ghost named Dr. Jordan that wears a bow tie.
Oh my God. I'll find somewhere to put that in. That's natural.
Yeah, that must include.